Welcome to episode 198 of Cowboy Shit. Proudly coming to you from the Brahma Boot Studio in Calgary, Alberta, and our satellite office in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan, with my pal, Mr. James Foley.
Alberta.
Oh, you're on the
We ain't,
Alberta side.
yeah,
Why
we're
did I
not
say
paying P.
Saskatchewan? I
We
feel
ain't
like I,
paying PST over here, boy.
I think I default to Saskatchewan, but the actual town office is in Alberta, isn't it?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Lloydminster share is on the border, actually, of Alberta and Saskatchewan. There's probably more Alberta town though in Lloydminster, isn't there?
Yeah.
Just for the PST, isn't it?
Well, Lloyd's PST exempt.
Exempt. Oh. What about daylight savings time when Saskatchewan changes time? It doesn't happen until
D-
you're outside the city limits or what?
It doesn't go till like on the east side of Lashburn, I think.
Oh, like past Payton? Like is Doug Young on daylight saving time or no?
I'm gonna say Doug is.
He is. So he's
Yeah,
just on the other side of the line.
yeah, I think Maidstone is even.
Oh. Where do they draw the line? I thought that was like,
I don't know, Paradise Hills, Saskatchewan time. So it's somewhere, it's a fucking crooked line.
huh, weird.
Yeah.
When does your phone change? That's what I want to know. Like when you're going to Meadow Lake, like when does your phone time change in the winter?
I turn it off because it'll change in Lloyd. If you go north of Lloyd, you'll be all messed up. You'll be an
Really?
hour late for supper
Oh, no
or
shit.
an hour early.
Huh.
Probably an hour early.
Depending on the season.
Yep.
Interesting. Um, well, I gotta talk about some more Brahma boots, James. We haven't talked about Brahma for a while.
No, we haven't. We skipped out.
We kind of like we didn't give them much love the last couple shows. It felt a little bit like I missed the boat for them.
Like you missed their birthday.
I missed their like I didn't quite miss their birthday, but I feel like I missed a few birthdays in the last little while.
Yeah, or you sent a late happy birthday to somebody very
Yeah,
close to you.
yeah. Like,
You know, it's a
are you saying this for somebody in your life that you just showed me a picture of
no,
that I was late on her birthday?
no. I'm just saying in general. It's that feeling when you're like, you missed it and you shouldn't have missed it, but you
Shouldn't have missed
did.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
But let's give him some love.
yeah, but we talked a bit about like the construction of the boots the other day, but what else do you want to know about Brahma boots, James? What else do you want to know?
I want to know where they're made.
Winnipeg, Manitoba.
All their boots made in Winnipeg.
Everything. Yeah. So we make everything from like a military dress shoe in the factory in Winnipeg to a steel-toed boot that has a crazy big shank in it that's made for the linemen that climb the power poles.
They
Or we
make
make
it
like a
all.
casual little slip-on shoe or a cowboy boot or a steel-toed pull-on cowboy boot. And we're currently working on a square-toed steel-toed cowboy boot. CSA approved,
Ooh.
which I don't know what that stands for, but maybe is it like Canadian Safety Authority? What would CSA
You,
mean?
you know what? I don't even know what
I don't even know
CSA
either.
stands for.
Do you have to wear CSA boots in your line of work
Yeah, everywhere now.
everywhere?
People at Walmart have to wear CSA approved.
It's actually true. What
Protect your
does
toes.
CSA stand for? Canadian Standards Association. Oh.
Oh,
It's the little green triangle, folks, for anyone that might be wondering. I don't know
yeah.
what the American counterpart is, though, because it's not
It's the same
CSA.
thing. I think it's a green.
Is it still a green triangle?
Uh, yeah, the guys down south, they kind of safety third down there.
What is the
They like to get the shit done and then they'll worry about the safety shit after.
uh that's very true. Oh, theirs is wait, the North American equivalent is UL, Underwriters Laboratories. What?
Huh.
Nationally recognized testing laboratories, NTRLs. Huh. Weird. Yeah, safety definitely is most definitely is third in America. But
Yeah.
anyways, they're all made in Winnipeg, James. Like there's like I want to say I have to ask Graham to be totally sure, but I think there's like 60 people that are in the factory that actually like every day go in and like cut the leather for the boots or they glue stuff together or they run the embroidery machines that have the patterns for the boots or they do the welting or they do the you know the soles or the cork in the soles. Like there's so many different pieces. Or they're working on a waterproof boot, or they're working on you know, a fire retardant boot that's got to have different Kevlar stitching so that it can be fire retardant for our welder friends. Like there's a lot of different things
If
to it.
I lived in Edmonton, where could I buy them?
Red Heart Workwear in Edmonton. There's a location on the west side, or Diablo Boots in the south. You could go see
Okay.
Jerry and Darlene on the south side of Edmonton, just off of it's on the north side road. The south one is Calgary Trail, but what's the north one road called?
Uh,
Gateway Boulevard.
Gateway.
Yeah, Gateway. But the Edmonton store is I think just off 170th, if I remember right. It used to be on off
Okay.
99th Street, but now it's I think 170th Street over on the west side. Then you got
Anywhere between Edmonton and Red Deer.
yeah, Jones Boys, Pinoca.
Perfect.
Yeah, then
Then we
you
could.
got Wheeze in Red Deer as well, and you got another Red
Yep.
Heart in Red Deer as well. I'm trying to think. You might have put me on the spot here. I hope I don't forget anybody right now. But there's like
Well, just you just think about it. But there's a lot of places. You probably go to Brahma Boots dot
CanadaWestBoots.com.
oh CanadaWestBoots.com.
Yeah, because Canada West Shoe is the factory that makes Brahma boots and Canada West boots. That's the deal.
Perfect.
But it's Canada West Shoe Manufacturing, which actually used to make
There.
like Greb was a Greb shoe factory previously, and they actually used to make Bauer hockey skates back in the day. And in
No
like
way.
early 80s, there was like a licensing deal with Dan Post, where the Dan Post boots that were made in like the Canadian version of Dan Post was made by Canada West Shoe. So I actually have a Dan Post boot with a Canada West Shoe manufacturing label in it because we made it from like the early 80s. I think it was 85. And I still have that boot and I still wear it.
Still wearing it.
Yeah, but it's like we make a
So
lot of shoes for like the Canadian military
yeah.
and like different police services, fire like people fighting the fires out there. There's like a crazy catalog. If you wear any sort of footwear, which is anybody, check out CanadaWestBoots.com. Check out our shoes.
Check them out. They got a boot for everything.
Even a lady that needs a steel toe. We've got two or three different styles of ladies steel toes. For sure too. There's a pull on and a lace up. There's options. We got options. And now we have a climber in the
Oh,
ladies. Or for a guy like me who has a small foot, we got a ladies version that'll fit your small foot.
small feet.
Yeah,
Are you a guy that wears lady boots normally?
that's correct. They even make them
Yeah,
for me now on a ladies boot last because I have such tiny feet.
really.
Yeah,
You
but
know what
like
they say about guys with small feet?
small socks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and tiny
it only
wieners
makes
too?
sense.
Or
No,
is that
no,
just a
I
myth?
don't know. No, that myth, I believe. I don't know though firsthand, but I got
Come on.
medium. I think I got size 9.5, 10.
Oh, okay. Come on. He's not small feet footed. Mine, I wear a ladies 8.5, which is like can be like a men's 6, depending on what the last size is, or a men's 7, depending on what's going on. But
Wow.
I have shoes that are all the way down to size 6 in the men's. 8.5 ladies. This fits me really good with the Brahma, with the Canada
Right.
West.
Yeah. So guys with small feet can find a good boot.
Absolutely. Yeah. Made in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, and we're supporting our Canadian tradespeople and Canadian businesses, but they're top to bottom made in Canada. Like, there's different components. Like, of course, we don't have all the components here. We have to buy, a Vibram sole, or we got to buy a rubber sole or a leather sole. Like, a lot of the leather comes from Mexico. There's I want to say a few pieces that come from the US still, maybe, but like there's a lot of different components that would go into a boot that you wouldn't even think of. But yeah.
But
Anyways,
if you lived in the States, you could still try out a pair of Brahma boots.
yes, if you want to try them out, there's less of our Western boots that go south, but there's actually a few. If you look in the tags, depending who you are, where you're at, there's actually some. I think the brand is called Red Dog, but there's like a California forestry company that buys our boots. That they're made by us, and we ship them down there as under a different brand. But we can't have the Brahma boot brand in the US because that's actually like a brand that Walmart owns. It's like a house brand that Walmart owns. So if you're in the States, you want some
Oh,
Brahmas,
Walmart.
we'll bootleg you some down there.
Yeah, let us
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Send,
But
slide into our DMs and
slide,
and
yeah,
then
and we'll
and
hook
then
you.
slide out in a new pair of boots.
You know what we forgot to do at the live show though? We just did the live show. That was what you were asking what we were going to talk about, and I was like, I don't
Oh
know, we'll
yes,
figure it out. We did the live show at the King Eddie.
that was a big one.
It was a lot of fun. Sorry I missed you there.
It happens.
Busy Wednesday. But
Busy
uh,
Wednesday.
thanks to Chelsea O'Neill, Adam Oppenheimer, the King Eddie, Devin Riches, Alicia Erickson, the gals from Foxworthy, Trevor Christensen. He's also known as Al Mule. But we recorded that show. I'm still working on getting all the files together. I'm hoping that we can put something together for the 200th episode. That's my plan right now. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining us, for being there in person. It was a lot of fun. We had a pretty cool event. I was so thrilled that anybody would want to buy tickets to come watch us. Foley, it was pretty cool. Next time you gotta come down.
So I'll buy a ticket. I'm gonna sit
No,
front
you're gonna
row,
come host with
perv
me.
row. I'm gonna sit in perv row
You're gonna
right at
huck
the
loonies
front.
at me?
Yeah.
I'll bring a poster if you do.
I prefer magnets.
Magnets? Yeah, okay. I
Yeah,
can
so
bring some magnets.
if I could get a magnet,
Some
I'd
cowboy
prefer
shit
that.
magnets.
Yeah, you know what I mean? A poster's just
It's whatever.
obnoxious sometimes.
I still do have a Piper Hard sticker magnet on my fridge downstairs.
Really?
Like a magnet, yeah, from Grand Prairie a couple years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, some of the boys went to the Peelers in London last week too. We were out there for the show
Uh-oh.
on the Cup Series. Yeah, they called me after the Oilers lost in overtime, and I was like, no, I'm going to bed. If they would have won, I would have considered it, but they lost, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
I'm gonna throw my sucker in the sand, and I'm going to sleep now.
How was the trip out east?
We had a good time. Once we got done the live show, once again, it was a lot of fun to do that one. We probably will do another one here at some point. We're talking with Adam, and it sounds like we're gonna plan another one in a few months too. So stay tuned for that, the second version of the live show. But yeah, huge crowds in London. Ton of great bull rides, ton of big scores. Like there was like 289s, 388s. Like the I don't think I haven't seen the videos back yet, but like watching the videos back the day after, and I remember like Dakota rode that Kryptonite, which is that Kryptonite of Nansen's, I want to say is like an 84, 85 pointer usually out this way.
Yeah.
In my recollection, and I was watching back, I was like, that bull seemed like he was kind of flat for an 88 and a half. Like, I think the scores were a little bit juiced, but like the right guys won. Dakota made three of the best rides. I think he was like 86, 87, and 89 or something, or 88 and a half, 87, 89, like three really solid bull rides. Um, I think Jordan Hansen rode three, Garrett Green rode three, um, Colton Hevelo rode three. Like guys rode some bulls. They made some great rides.
No, just wait. Yeah.
Oh, need a pause?
Oh, I got a bee on the ground.
A baby calf?
No, no, no. A bee.
A bee? What do you mean? Bumblebee?
Yeah. Look at
Did you
this.
get stung by a bee?
No.
Oh dang! Look at him go.
Yeah.
Just buzzing.
What? Yeah, we'll just keep him here. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Tell me about Meadow Lake too. We had a great show in London, but we're going to Ottawa this weekend. But you were in. We also had a great show. I got to give shout out to Caden Willows and Matt Korchinski for looking after the ship in Rocky with Denny Hallstead and Dave Polson. They were all in Rocky. Had a great show. We had Robert Schmidt and Scott Byrne out there with us, with our crew in Brinson out in London. But you were in Meadow Lake, and then I want to say forget where you were the week before, but you've been on the run too, bucking some
Yeah,
bulls out there.
we've been in Edson.
Oh
Took a
yeah,
bunch of calves. Yeah, took a bunch of calves to Meadow Lake, and that was a good one too.
who won
Committee
that one? I
just
saw the thing. Eric O'Flynn, or who was it?
Eric O'Flynn. Yeah, he won. He won one of Cody Johnson's in the Longo, and then
Like Cody
picked.
Johnson from like Evansburg.
Yeah, well, he's out by Cody Johnson Rafter and Bucking
Oh,
Bulls.
that's Saskatchewan Cody Johnson. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
wrong Cody Johnson.
yeah. So Eric rode one of his in the Longo. I want to say for like 86,
Right on,
and then picked a 3-year-old of mine in the short go, and was 87 and a half. So
right on. Good for him.
yeah, yeah, it was good, man. It was a good bull ride, and there's a ton of good kids coming up.
I love it. How was any bull of the event stuff? Top mark bull, or what did that look like in Meadow Lake?
Uh, no, no, nothing. I think there was like 6 or 7 bulls that were like in that 42 and a half mark. So,
Okay.
it was deep sand, super deep
Oh,
sand.
okay.
But yeah, no, it was a good bull ride. They rode a bunch of bulls and
Right on.
10,000 added. So Eric
Big
walked
payday.
away with some cash and yeah,
Big payday. I like it.
big
Well, and then
payday.
what do the next few weeks look like for you? What do you got on the go?
We're busy with fraternity caps. So we head to Eston on Friday and then I have a fraternity on the 21st, an ABBI Canada event at our place. And then after that, we kind of have a couple weeks off, I think, and then get ready for one more fraternity, and then we head to Czar.
Oh yeah, I like it. Good little run.
Yeah. Yeah, it won't be bad. Put on some miles,
Heck yeah.
get some trips.
Well, and I forgot to mention earlier, but this show is brought to us proudly by Canada's Greatest Horseman. It's going to be taking place at the Ponoka Stampede, June 28th to July 1st. Entries are due by June 17th, so only a few days away. But check out all the info at cowhorse.ca. The Canada's Greatest Horseman. It's the feature of our show this week. We've got John Swales and Ronnie Anderson in the mix, and I really had a lot of fun talking with these guys, James. It was a
Some
lot of
some
fun.
horse legends.
Yeah, some big time horse guys. But there's gonna be a lot of fun, like a lot of great action at this event. Once again, June 28th to July 1st at the Cal Nash Egg Event Center, just down the road from the Ponoka Stampede grounds. But the whole show, we're talking to these guys about the event, and there's a lot of cool horse stuff. I gotta say thanks again to Alicia Erickson for doing the video on this side of the show this week, and she actually jumped in and asked a few questions too. So it was a lot of fun. It was a good show.
Good. It's going to be a good listen.
Yeah. Well, best of luck out there the next few weeks, Foley. You got anything else before we wrap it up here?
No, that's about it, man.
Go Oilers. Hopefully they pick up their socks in the next game here.
They got to win it in 7.
They got to win the next game, I think. Like that's pretty key. You can't go down 3-1,
No, no, he ain't coming back.
right? They came back from 3-rip last year, but I don't know.
It's a battle. I don't know what to tell Edmonton. They just got to play the skilled game.
Yeah, they can't take so many penalties, I feel like. That was a pretty rough start tonight.
Florida's going to beat them in the toughness game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even. The crazy thing is, like, I know they got a lot of good guys, but I like Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand, Aaron Ekblad, Seth Jones. But I'm trying to think, like, who their real tough guys are. Like, I don't like Edmonton's tough guys. What? Like, I don't. Would you consider Corey Perry a tough guy? He's not
Yeah,
really like a fighter.
Kane.
Kane
Kane, I
is.
guess. Kane and Nurse.
Ekholm's big. Wallman's big. Nurse is big, but he takes a lot of stupid penalties, I feel like, at times.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a battle. The Oilers are going to have to show up and play their game.
Yeah. Hope the heck they can win game 4 Thursday night.
I'd like to see a Canadian team win. It'd be nice.
I agree. We've had quite a bit of heartbreak the last little while between, what was it, 04, the Flames lost game 7 against
Yes. And
the
then
Lightning.
'06 was the Oilers?
Yeah, and they lost. Did they lose in game 7 too against Carolina? Or was it game 6?
Uh,
Like they lost the
yeah,
cup
they
final.
lost regardless.
And then we lost last year game 7. Didn't who else made the finals? Didn't the Canadians?
Montreal was somewhere in there, weren't they?
Yeah, they made it in like the COVID year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, uh yeah, thanks for doing this with me. Got anything else? Wrap it up already.
Wrap her up.
All right. Well, once again from the Brown Boot Studio, I'm Ted Stoven. He's James Foley, and this is episode 198 of Cowboy Shit. Thanks for tuning in. Our interview with Ron Anderson and John Swales coming up after this. All right, we're in the Brahma Boot Studio with the live crew in the studio for one of the first times
Yeah, I got a
in the
pulse.
flesh.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
us live.
in the flesh. So we've got a really great show lined up. I thank you both for being here today. I've got some pretty elaborate introductions set up here, so I'm gonna do my
All
best
right.
here. But this guy's he's a little bit of everything, much like a cow horse. I'm reading off a script. This isn't totally all my words, but he's a trainer, a competitor, an announcer, a former NRCHA judge. He's a wealth of knowledge in all aspects of Western performance horses. Whether it be breeding, Canadian American equine history, he's a passionate supporter of the sport. Very funny. He has sharp, quick wit. Again, I didn't write this, but this is very well
Sounds
done.
like I wrote it.
This is
doesn't it?
very well. Yeah, you maybe did write this.
Yeah,
You maybe
I
did
think I
write
did.
this. He's a passionate supporter of the sport. Very funny and has a sharp, quick wit. I already said that line. You won't miss an opportunity to take a well-executed shot at someone. Ooh, that might be some shots fired on that one. I don't know, but I've known this guy for quite a while now, but we never got to do a show like this. But once I saw your name on the list, I was really excited about this. So please welcome to the show, Cowboy Shit, for the first time ever, Mr. Ron Anderson.
Hey, Ted, thanks. It's nice to be part of it.
Yeah,
You
thanks for
put
doing
out a
this.
lot of cowboy shit, and
Hey, thanks.
I just flattered. I've never sounded so good in the introduction. I think I should just leave the room now and not try to live up to it.
You know,
Who-
Should we record that for like when you go to announce shows? Like we'll play that and then you take the mic and then people are like, oh yeah, like I need to listen to this guy for the next 7 hours.
That
right?
should be your introduction.
It should be.
On,
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it didn't take me long to write it.
Yeah.
So. Who else you got? What else is on your list?
For yourself?
No.
For our
You've
other
covered
guest.
me off.
For our other guest.
Yeah, we got more guests.
Our other guest. Okay. I don't know what order to do this in. There's so many things I might run out of breath, but there's a lot of pieces here. But he's got a lifetime earnings of over $1.1 million. And this is just the recent notable titles. The 2024 Canada's Greatest Horseman Champion. And that was one, you guys might have to help me out on this name on the horse, but SLR One Smart Wolf.
Smart as a cat.
Smart as a cat. Okay,
Yeah.
Dang it. Anyways, also the 2023 Reserve Champion of Canada's Greatest Horseman. 2019, the World's Greatest Horseman Champion. And this was on Metallic Cat Rose. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's
you
right.
bet.
Also, 2017 World's Greatest Horseman Champion. Countless other show and class championships. 9-time Calgary Stampede Open Bridle Champion. 2021 Run for a Million Cow Horse Qualifier as well. Does this sound about right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did I get it right, Ronnie? Am I missing any?
That was really. You're going to miss some, yes, because
Yes, there's
sprinkled
too
in
many.
among that in the learning curve. Sprinkled in among that is some reserve and some world
Yeah. Some major titles too.
championships on various horses.
And these were just the most
These are the most
recent.
current.
Yeah,
And,
most
you know
recent.
what we've done here now? We've elevated him to a thing where he's almost uncomfortable.
Yep.
So I think we should leave it there. You know, like
Yep.
Yeah.
he's floating
End of the
above
show.
his chair. He feels good about being here. Maybe we won't. I've got some other stuff we could unload if we need
Yeah.
to bolster him up.
'Kay.
But good on your intros.
Hey, this is not all my work. I'm not taking credit for this. I got some really great info, some great support on this one. But thanks. Welcome to the Brahma Boot Studio from Millerville, Alberta. It's John Swales. Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. So today, the big topic here, we're talking about Canada's Greatest Horseman. It's June 26th to 29th during the Ponoka Stampede. There's I'm trying to think of how many days that is now.
Well,
in
but-
June it gets to be a little busy, but
From
4
now
days.
till then.
Well-
yeah, there's four days of competition.
Yeah, and then the finals is so 4 days of competition, but it goes 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. from June 26th to 28th. The 26th is what is that? Is that a Wednesday or Thursday? Is it Thursday to Sunday? I gotta look at the dang calendar. now.
I never looked at a calendar to find out.
It's different dates this year with Ponoka. 26th to 29th
Well,
is Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah, the Stampede itself.
Yeah, starts on
the 25th, ends on the
25th.
1st.
Yeah, that's right.
Our show
On the Monday.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And we're done on a Tuesday this year. You guys are done on Monday or Sunday?
I'll tell you what.
Tell
Let's
us.
do it this way.
Tell us.
Okay, there's a stock horse show in conjunction with
Oh, wow.
Canada's Greatest Horseman.
Yes.
There's a stock horse show, a reined cow horse show that runs concurrently. So what it's designed to do is shoehorn into the downtime of the rodeo, so that the rodeo fans can come down to that beautiful Cal Nash Center.
Right off Highway 2A.
Come in there,
in
right?
Ponoka.
Come in there and enjoy some real cowboy cow horse stuff.
Yeah.
And so Canada's Greatest is Natural Fit, and I think usually does it run? It runs over 3 days.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
Yes, there'll
right.
be the cutting, the reining, and then the roping and the fence work.
And then fence work.
Yes.
And I see the fence work is the finals.
Yes.
That's going to be 4 to 6 p.m. That'll be between the rodeo and the Chuckwagon Perfs on must be the 29th where this finished. I got a typo here. But that'll be Sunday night. Sunday night finals, does that sound right?
Yes, it
Yes.
does. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Yep.
So is it I know nothing here. So is this like what horse are you riding when you get into this show this year, John, and what I might be throwing you off here, Ron. I don't know where to start with this, but
Well, how about-
I haven't been able to get over there because I'm a little busy at
Well,
the rodeo.
I know you.
I'm a little
You
full
spend
on.
a lot of time up there, and you are
I'm
real busy.
stuck over there, yeah.
So you don't see what goes on down there. But John just said, okay, so John, to win Canada's Greatest Horseman, what elements do you have to compete in?
So they start with the herd work event. That's the first one we'll do, which is
and what is that?
It's just cutting. Yeah, you bet. In the rain cowers, they call it herd work. Then on to the reined work. followed by the steer stopping.
What is steer stopping?
You back in the header's box.
Just hold that mic a little closer, maybe too.
Back
Just
in
make
the
sure
header's
you get-
box, and it's just like team roping, except instead of turning the steer off, you stop it.
Oh,
Judged,
because that's more legitimately the ranch side of it, honestly, right?
yeah, and you're judged on how your horse stands in the corner, in the box, how it runs to the steer, rates the steer, and then how it stops.
Okay.
Stops the steer. They want a nice square sliding stop. Yep.
Oh wow. And then then you got the reining and the fence work.
The fence
on
work
day 3
it will be the last.
before the finals.
I would imagine usually they do the steer stopping and the fence work the same day.
Okay, gotcha.
And then there's another fence work for the finals.
Yeah. Right on.
So we do 2 fence works. Yeah.
Have you made it over there before, Alicia? You probably
Once for the finals.
you were there for the finals.
Yeah, I went and filmed it.
And that's a bit of a Alicia Erickson on the video, does all the sideline interviews, a lot of the video content at the Pinoca Stampede. She came to help us out on the video side of this thing tonight. So thanks, Alicia.
It was
Appreciate
top drawer talent all the way around the table, huh?
it. 2-year Miss Rodeo Canada, right? Part of the PBR Canada Cup Series broadcast on TSN.
Boy,
Pinoca Stampede.
I knew I didn't need to clean my glasses when I walked in. Now, oh, well. You got the elements now?
I think so. Yeah,
This-
there's a few
the-
different pieces, and then so it'd be 3 rounds and then finals. Is that what I'm understanding, right?
Basically.
Yeah.
4.
4. Yeah.
4 and
Because
then
it's a 4 event.
Yeah, there's
A
Four-
4 event.
there's 4
show,
separate
yeah.
events.
oh wow,
And,
and so a winner in each discipline too. Then technically, Not technically, but actually,
yes, there is. There's
Yeah.
a winner in each of the
Oh, wow.
4 elements.
And the greatest horseman is essentially in rodeo terms would be the all around
All
You
it's
bet. Yeah.
best of overall
aggregate score.
aggregate. Yeah.
Aggregate score.
Wow. And I was reading on the scoring. You kind of start with a 70. That's kind of the starting point, and then you go up or down from there as far
Yeah.
as plus and minuses from there.
Yeah. 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 How bad you can screw things up or make things right. Yeah.
Getting above a 70 is really what you focus on.
It is. Yeah.
It's easy enough to get below a 70.
Yeah.
So,
Like
you're
I would probably
familiar
get
with
like a four.
the old
If I was doing it right,
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be like a 4.
You start out with a 70 when
And
you
I
ride
just,
through the
I would
gate.
just,
And you just ride through the gate, and if you're like me, just ride through the gate and pull up. Don't make any more mistakes, and you're all right.
Yeah.
They call 70 a good average score, but in order to win this, so John, you've got to jump out and be solid in all 4 elements. So.
Yes, you need to try to. The objective is to try to win every event. Yeah. Because then when the final fence work comes around, it's not necessarily make or break. It is because there's so many variables in that fence work. Right, mostly what cow they turn out for you. But if you can, be consistent in all 4 events leading up to the final fence work, then as long as you can have a nice smooth run, you should be okay.
I think the important part that you just said right there, it's the cows.
Oh yeah.
It's the cows that you draw. So we outlined the 4. John told you the 4 elements. 3 of them are with cattle.
Yes.
Now you got gate run. You got a gate run steer. Okay, so the steer that they load for you is the steer that you steer stop.
Yeah. It's your steer.
It's your steer.
Yeah.
You might
whether
get-
you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not. Might be a AAA runner.
Yep.
Might be a dog. But here's where all the preparation and the training of the horse comes. I mean, you spend a lot of time roping, John?
Yes, we rope a lot. Yep. Yeah, and ideally, that horse is going to look after some of your downfalls. In all of the events, other than the reining, A lot of it is up to them to help you get through it.
Okay.
So you might hear the term if you hung around, Ted. If you're back down in the performance surface, you'd hear somebody mention that they're happy with their horse, and maybe one of the attributes that you look for in a horse that you compete on, John, is a horse that's cow smart.
Very much so. Yes.
You'll use the term cow smart. You think, what the heck does that mean?
What the heck does that mean?
What does it mean, John? What's cow smart?
It's the ability of that horse to read a cow. So obviously the rider can read the cow, but the rider has to read the cow and then dictate to the horse what they should do. So there's obviously a delay. So when your horse is cow smart himself, then there's no delay. They're reading that cow and reacting to the cow's movements and in essence going everywhere the cow's going and blocking the cow or controlling it.
So in every one of the events, you say if you start out in the herd work, in the cutting. So this cow's going to try and get back in the herd, and you've got it sorted out, and you're trying to hold it out there. Like John says, if your horse is pretty cow smart, I like the way you put it, John, when you said that horse is going to hopefully fill in where you might, where the rider might miss.
Ideally, yeah.
So you're up there and you're studying on this cow, but cows don't act just all right, and so they might head fake you and duck and dive and go the other way. And a cow smart horse gets it way before the rider does sometimes.
Huh.
So,
and is that a breeding thing or is that a training thing?
I believe it's both, but mostly I think it's breeding.
Oh, really?
You typically can't train an average horse to be cow smart.
Oh, really?
Huh. No different than I believe some people have a knack for reading cattle and some people don't.
Or they don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one of my best examples that I felt like I noticed when I was in college in New Mexico and working the pens, moving cows into the chutes, was the pressure piece, where like some people would stand at the front of the chute and try and zap them with the taser, at the front of it. And I was like, do you not fucking see that you go to the other side and they go away from you? I don't need to use a taser at all. Like, I don't need to use you just go the other way, go behind them, and then they go away from you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a pressure thing. But I couldn't believe it. I was like, do you not get this? And these are actual timies, like people that are around roping all the time, and they're trying to just zap them in. Like, guys, look at this. Let's go to this side. Yeah. But not everybody gets it.
No,
I don't know.
not that's the whole deal.
Sometimes it's a force thing. But they don't get
Not
it.
everybody gets it.
And it's like the same with the horses. Not all of them get it.
They don't all get it.
They're about as handy as a town dog. And
some of them just don't care.
Yeah.
So, but you get the cow smart horse,
Huh.
and then you train it.
Okay.
And so last year you won it on the SLR horse.
Yep.
On Smart as a Cat.
Yep.
What is SLR?
Stump Lake Ranch.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Is that your place?
No, it
Somewhere
isn't.
else.
It's a ranch south of Longview, and
Okay.
they have a place in BC at Stump Lake in BC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't I thought Stump Lake was one of the Douglas Lakes ranches?
No, it isn't.
That's not
It's
the
south
case?
of Kamloops. Stump Lake is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Different spot. It's not one that they own either.
No, it belongs to a fella. Actually, he lives south of Calgary here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay, sorry.
So
Sidebar.
no worries.
I'm learning lots right now.
That horse is kind of, to me, that horse is pretty cow smart.
Yeah, very much so.
And
Starts
he's
off.
pretty cow smart. So how long, John, you took him, and how long did it take to train him and prepare him till he was shall we say, a valid candidate for like world's greatest, Canada's greatest? How long does that take?
I took him to World's Greatest the first time as a 7-year-old. Yeah, and he was a contender. He darn sure could have made the finals. We had a bit of a bobble in the roping, but
Was that you or him?
He's a really low-headed horse, Ted, and he broke the barrier with his nose.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That's not how that should go.
No. But yeah,
Was it an electronic barrier? Or
yeah, it was an eye.
It was an eye. Oh, crap.
You bet.
That's too bad.
But no,
Which low-headed, like I'm learning now, is that's actually how you want your horse to be collected. That's how they're supposed to be in a lot of situations, but it doesn't work
it
there.
was detrimental in that situation. Yes,
that's too bad.
But yeah, no, as a 7-year-old, he was he would have made the finals without that barrier penalty. Yes,
And
Right.
7 is pretty young for a horse that's at this caliber, is it not?
it's
In the cutting, they're like most of them are pretty young.
Well,
Are they not?
they'll vary. Maybe if you looked at a 7-year-old, he's just starting to. By 7 years old, they're starting to hit their prime.
yes,
They're starting to become the real deal.
But you've got
consider
5 years
this.
of training on them
Yes,
by that point,
that's the
right? 3,
important
4, 5,
part
6,
there.
7.
yes.
Yeah, it's your 5th year already.
Yeah, but for those all-around contests, and for the rein cow horses, they've just come out of their 2-rein year, which is as typically as a 6-year-old. The 2-rein is where you have your bridle bit and a bosel
Okay.
under the bridle bit, and you have your Makati reins hooked to your bosel and your Rommel reins.
Okay.
So
There's a lot
it's
of technical things here.
it's a
I know
it's a
Rommel. I know
stepping
that one.
stone
Yeah.
to make a bridle horse.
Okay. Learned a lot this winter.
The epitome of the rein cow horse world, like at the top of the pedestal, what everybody wants to ride, is that great bridle horse. Getting there to that great bridle horse is a long path,
Yes.
and it's historically documented by the vaquero tradition. But they start out 3 years old, rein in either hand in a snaffle bit as a futurity horse. 4 and 5 year old, they can be shown two-handed again in the hackamore.
Yep.
And then John just described now as a 6-year-old, this horse is getting better all the time.
Every year.
He's getting more confident. He's getting more training. He's got some natural talent. Now it's being trained and refined. And so then, as John said, when he's in the 2-rein with the little bosel underneath the bridle, he's kind of getting ready to get to the top level tier of
Okay.
the bridle horse.
Yep. So, and just kind of my point was, as a 7-year-old going into that all-around contest, they're a little greener to be shown in the bridle.
Okay.
Typically, in those all-around events, those horses are a little older and a little more been there, done that.
Like most things, it takes, like from most of us too, it takes us a lot of preparation and a lot of exposure to get to where we're comfortable in that kind of a pressure performance situation. So you take yourself with your career. You can go to the Pinoca Stampede now and do your job, and you don't even kind of notice the pressure.
Oh no, I definitely do.
But you know how to handle it.
Sometimes.
Well, you got a good fake going on then.
Fake it till you make it,
It's the
Ron.
same thing for us and the same thing for you as a competitor, I think, isn't it, John?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, you got to get used to that pressure situation,
Yeah.
and to just do your deal in that pressure deal.
And there's different reactions over the years too. Like there's times when we'd be stressed and that would react on our horses too.
Yeah,
Or
for sure.
over years of they know what's going on. They're reading us.
More often than not,
Yeah.
better than us.
Yep.
And, yeah. This year, are you going back with the same horse, or you got other choices?
No, I
got
think
an idea?
I have an idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to. We've been working on roping on. His name's Hendrix. Yeah, and he's been a bridle horse. Well, he's the same age as the SLR horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so, but different one. Like you went on this horse, and now you're gonna go with a different one this year.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That seems like. Am I thinking that's unusual, or are you entering a couple horses in these?
No,
competitions?
it's a one horse only.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One horse, one rider,
wow.
one bridle, one contest.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, like this is
That's a line by an announcer.
This is
Yes.
this is a one-time deal.
Here, at least you need a microphone.
Well, I just have a question. You can repeat it.
You know,
Okay.
let us know.
What I'm curious is at home, like when you're preparing for these multi-event days, weekends, whatever it might be, will you put your horse in, like, will you practice these different events back to back to back at home? So like steer stopping, then cutting, then reining, then all in a day's work, or is it always separate?
No, it's usually separate. So, for example, one day, let's say we'll cut on him on the horse, and then the kids like to rope at night. So usually I'll rope on them at night. Yeah, they'll get worked in one event during the day, and then we'll rope on them at night.
And what do you find is the most challenging for these? Obviously, you know, like you're a home and maybe they're giving you 80%, and then you get into a show pen or whatever, and they give you 60 or whatever it might be. Like, what do you find is the most challenging? Is it different for every horse, or do you find that there's one challenging thing with these competitions that seems to like always get you every time?
The one thing that's difficult on them, I find, is the roping for them, because they've been shown as a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, and they've been shown down the fence a lot. So, and then now we're taking that horse, backing them in a box, and running up to a steer and saying, you know, and in the fence work, that the objective is to control that cow in the fence work.
Yep.
So now we're running up behind a steer to rope it and telling them, no, you can't go by that steer.
That's like kids, hey? That's like forever telling them that they're allowed to have Kinder surprises before bed, and then being like, just kidding.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't.
That takes a really smart horse, and like to understand that, doesn't it, John?
Yeah.
It takes a really smart horse to know position on a cow is everything, because you spend, like John said, you spend years teaching a position on a cow, how to run. They know how to rate a cow
Yeah.
from the fence work. Like they can rate the speed, but not from the position that you would rope from.
No, and there's always just, you know, by the time they're 7, 8 years old, they've been shown a lot, and there gets to be just that little bit of charge to them when they get to a cow.
Little bit of
Little
charge.
bit, yeah.
That was pretty well done. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks.
See,
Thanks.
he's got a hinge at the front of his hat, and I've seen that son of a bitch fold up. That's a little bit of charge.
And you
Okay.
know-
That's it. That, and if you watch John closely, he's kind of the master of no giveaways, right? But you can see when his knuckles turn white.
Yeah.
when he comes out of that box and he's running there and he's just about to do it, and he feels that horse, want me to turn it now?
Oh.
And you'll see him kind of, I'll just wait here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's for them, that's the most difficult. It seems to be. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if this is like controversial or what, but in rodeo, we like to ask you like, what's your rodeo ick? And people will be like, oh, people who don't starch their jeans, or, you know, jeans too short, or somebody who wears their, like stuff like that. In your profession, what is one thing or two things, or however many you want, that just drives you crazy?
You know what? I think it's got to be bad hats.
Bad hat. No, that's rodeo too.
Yeah.
Like you can't stand a
Yeah.
bad shaped
Yeah.
hat. Do you think hats are shaped different from different disciplines in what you do?
Oh,
Like-
yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it? It's just like rodeo. But yeah, you can kind of tell, can't you, John?
Oh, yeah.
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 If there's one thing you wish people could know about what you do that you think is maybe misconcepted or whatever, what don't they get to see about what you do? Like, what is that?
Yeah, I think it's biggest thing is that, you know, I've heard it numerous times, them saying that you just sit there on that horse and it does everything for you. You know, kind of like a monkey on a border collie. But
No offense to Whiplash the Cowboy Monkey.
yeah.
I think he's retired now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But I think, you know, they don't see the feel that horse has in its mouth and sides, and the subtle cues you're giving that horse to help it perform. They do a lot on their own, but it is a partnership. You're there to help them also.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have any comment about that?
Well, I threw out this one idea, and I'll throw it out again to you. It's just a concept that in the early days of the vaqueros, when they were herding them cattle in northern Mexico and southern California, the indigenous people of the region had never seen mounted riders doing this before. And they didn't distinguish between the rider and the horse. They thought because of the communication and the look of a rider on these horses, these were skilled horsemen on a skilled horse. The indigenous people thought they were all one. The rider and the horse were all one. So that's a type of communication. So we're sitting up in the stand, bumming in the bleachers, and we're looking down there, and we see what a great horse. We don't see John riding it.
Right.
As not as much as, but it's a partnership deal. It's a real partnership.
What's the coolest feeling for you about everything you do? What is your absolute favorite feeling? If it's only happened once, or where have you been on top of the world at in your career?
For me, it's when in the fence work they turn a really tough cow out, and your horse handles the cow as good as possible. They like a really hard running cow down the fence, and your horse runs down there and just slam dunks the cow both ways, and you can go to the center to circle up, and you're wide open running and your reins are loose, and they're just like, hey, I got this. Cool. Yeah, that's for me, that's a really good feeling.
That's cool.
I gotta ask about the zones on the sides of the horses. I heard this concept this winter. Like, I've learned a ton this winter on the horse side of things, but somebody mentioned, and it was most likely Bree talking about kind of the front, middle, and back on the sides, where there's kind of like, she called it buttons, where a horse will have different buttons in different spots that, like, I didn't understand, but like the different turns and spinning. Like, I'm going back to grade 1. You guys are on level 7,000 up here, but I just had to ask about that a little bit on how you even teach that. I don't even know how you even teach that side of it.
There's different spots, where you're going to press with your leg, to move different parts of the horse for body control. Obviously a little further forward, you're going to be working on shoulder control, middle area, rib cage, and then move your leg back by the back cinch, to work on hip control. I think is probably what kind of where your buttons come from.
Now when he's riding with his girlfriend and he's trying to do all these things, she's going to be like, what are you doing?
Well, that's always good. You can always look around and see how many buttons there are.
Yeah.
But,
You're just going to look like I'm trying to press the buttons, Bree.
Here's a little heads up for you, though. In the heat of battle, none of that's going to matter. Is that fair, Don?
No, yeah.
It's like training aids, like John outlined, like you're trying to move this, manage this, hold this, push that around. You're trying to develop this horse's skills to a higher level. In the heat of battle, just like John says, there's nothing cooler than when that horse says, buddy, keep your feet to yourself. I got this.
Yeah.
Right.
Just if you want to go a little faster, step on the accelerator. If you don't want to go that fast, pull on the bridle a little bit. Apart from that, try to stay out of my way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he just described like his ultimate deal. You asked him the question. Mm-hmm. Interesting that he picked the fence work because, and only because I say this man is one of the most gifted people showing a cow horse down a fence in North America. And I didn't make that up. I have heard that over and over again, and I've seen it. So No wonder you get excited about it. Well, no, and it's a testament. You know, we talked about cow smart. He's pretty cow smart too. So that's a great question, but the answer is a giveaway.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool for someone that knows him and his relationship and your public appearance. To hear that is pretty cool. You seem very humble, and probably you don't take enough credit where it's deserved. I don't know if I'm right. But
No trick.
okay, so I'm reading you right. But asking about memories and times again, I think I want to say when I went to the finals at the Canada's Greatest Horseman, like there was lots of whistling and different, like the cheering is very different in the show pens than it is like with rodeo and such.
Yeah, I think
you know,
so,
like
yeah.
whistling and all these crazy like things when you're spinning or doing whatever. But in saying that, has there ever been a time where you're like, man, I want to pat myself on the back right now because that was badass?
Yeah, I don't know. Not that I can
Come
think
on.
of. I don't know. You know, I not necessarily pat myself on the back, but in 2020, when I won World's Greatest on Metallic Cat Rose, we had a pretty phenomenal fence work, and I was like, whew. And they don't announce the scores, but it was one of those ones where you're kind of like, oh, I think that was pretty good. I think.
Yep. So I'll tattletale on your question.
Okay.
Is there tell you what, if you keep watching him, so he'll show and he'll finish up his run, and if the horn sounds to end a run, judge has seen enough, if he reaches down and touches that horse, he's having a moment.
Oh.
You know, he's
the moment.
like he's happy. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's happy he appreciates what that horse gave him.
Yeah.
And he thinks, I think I stayed out of this sucker's way. I think I let him go ahead.
Cool.
So just little things. Those are things I see from where I sit. And you're absolutely right about him being humble.
Yeah.
And this podcast, he won't talk for 2 weeks after this podcast. He's used all his words.
Oh yeah, all my words. Yeah.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a bit of a stats nerd, but like there can't have been many Canadians that have won at that level. Much. I don't know for this for sure. I'm assuming that one.
Just one.
Just this guy. Okay.
Wow.
Just
my
one.
assumption.
Just one.
That's incredible.
That's not easy. Like,
he's the only Canadian. National Reined Cow Horse Association is the governing body for reined cow horse worldwide. He's the only $1 million rider from Canada.
And who's second place? Or what's second place? How much?
Yeah, who would be
Be
somebody that's Canada's second best horseman?
that's a hard question. Yes,
Dale
Dale.
would be.
yeah, I bet he is.
Dale.
Dale Clearwater, Hanley, Saskatchewan, and I would
boy.
say that he would. I think
He's fully capable. He just doesn't
Yes.
like driving as much as I do, I
He
think.
did-
I feel like there's rodeo athletes
It's
like
almost
that
the
too.
truth. If you think about it, he was. I think he made the final. He advanced to the finals of the World's Greatest.
He did,
last year, 2024. He advanced to the
Well, it would have
finals.
been 2025.
25 this
Yes.
year, February. He advanced to the finals. And do you know where Hanley is?
No.
Well,
I don't.
he
There's lots of bugs there. I was there once.
There's a lot of bugs.
Tall grass.
I was out.
Rolling hills.
I was out there just a little while ago, and it's a long drive just to get there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, no wonder he doesn't like to drive.
Yeah, so like John said, he just did. But he'd probably be second. And he is a very notable cow horse rider, and I'll guarantee you he'll have a horse in the lineup when we come to Ponoka.
Okay.
He was Canada's greatest horseman champion 23.
Yes.
Okay. Is that the first year they had it?
22, I believe.
22?
I tell you what, it's come and gone. The history of it, it's been a thing,
Yeah,
and then it drifted away, and then it's been a thing. It's kind of ebbed and flowed for probably 15 20 years. I
You
mean,
used
Brad
to,
won it.
Used to be in Edmonton.
Yes,
Years
yes,
ago
yes.
at Farm Fair.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
so with the Canadian Finals Rodeo,
Yes, at
that's
the
You bet.
Canadian Finals Rodeo. Yeah,
Yep.
it used to be up there.
Ranch rodeo, too.
And then for years it was at the fraternity
Mm-hmm. In
down
Claire's
in
home.
Claire's
Yep.
home. I think that Brad won it down there.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
And that would have been probably late teens, 18, 17,
Mm-hmm.
sometime. But that's the kind of thing. But there's a lot of quality cow horses. And that's an interesting thing. John, there are a lot of good Canadian cow horse riders.
Very much so. Yes.
Why do you think that is? Because, population-wise, we should have one or two, where we've got 10 notables, or thereabouts. Any thoughts on that? Why do we have so many? Well, I mean, we're blessed to have that many skilled cowboys.
Yeah. I don't know. And there's. I know. For me, I decided years ago I wanted to try to do this just because I used to go to the Canadian Supreme with my dad and watch Les Timmons and
Yeah.
Morgan Libbert and
Right.
Dave Manning.
Ho. Had
what does that look for?
Well, Dave Manning, back in the days,
He's a legend.
he's a legend in the rein cow horse world in Canada. The rein cow horse world came alive in Canada in probably 1972, 73, 74,
Okay.
sometime in that. And from that point forward, for nearly a decade, Dave Manning was the man. Matisco, Alberta.
Where's Matisco?
Oh, way the hell out.
Houses from.
Out in the desert.
It's out. It's out. It is. You drive as far as you can east.
Okay.
Go a little bit north of Hannah, or
Oh.
yeah,
On 36?
Yep.
Somewhere
Oh,
Yep.
is it? I have no idea.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was lost, and that's how I saw it. But I mean, it is desert country. But he's the legend. I mean,
Neat.
and that might be part of the reason. John, what about this?
Inspired a lot of.
Most of the good cow horse people that you can name, cowboyed.
Yeah, you bet.
They didn't start out like getting trained in an arena, and then develop their skills. They actually started out in the open,
Right.
out cowboying. And I mean, Dave Manning's background was that. I mean,
Yeah.
they gathered. I mean, bad cattle.
Same as Les Timmons.
Timmons was a feedlot rider.
PFRA
Dale
pasture.
Clearwater. Dale Clearwater rode PFRA pasture he ran away, or not ran away, as a kid out of school. I think he left.
Walked away.
I think he walked away. I think he missed the yellow bus and started riding pasture for Peter Gaunt and that fella from Maple Creek. He was a pasture rider. That's what he was.
So,
Gaunt, same thing.
Yeah.
do you feel like the future of reining cow horse, of this type of work, is in good hands? Do you think that it's going to continue to grow? Do you feel like it'll go through spurts? Where do you feel it's going to go in the next?
At this point, it seems like it's going in a really good direction. There's a lot of participation at the shows and horses in training, and I believe it's going in a good direction.
That's good.
It is. I agree so much.
Yeah.
It's going in a good direction. They've built a place for a lot of people to play in different categories of classes. But the fact is that the hallmark that we're talking about, Canada's greatest, one of the biggest features of the rein cow horse world is there's an element of danger. It's just like rodeo.
Okay.
It's just like, why is PBR a standalone? Because somebody could die.
Huh? Yeah.
Like, why do you go to those hockey games? For the fights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why I
it's,
go.
that kind of deal. I mean, everybody can go through my brother-in-law used to call the reined work in cow horse. He used to call that foreplay. He says, "You just make me do that so I can go down the fence." And you can say that on this podcast, can't you?
It's called Cowboy Shit. So
Oh, there you go.
one of the next questions is what your definition of cowboy shit is. It sounds like we're doing it here.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are, and that's why. So I'm going to thank you very much for having us here, because we have hijacked your deal here.
Perfect. This has been fun.
Yeah. I feel like you're opening up and you got more to say.
No, you've got more words out of me than anybody has in a few months.
Oh, that's good. High five to us.
Ronnie, I kept Alicia way too late. We thought we were doing this at 5, so she's been supposed to go home for dinner for a long time. Do we have any? Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll make sure we send Denver the preview so he can. Yeah. Anyways, we better wrap it up here pretty quickly. I could go for hours today, but what else do you have on your list? We really got to get to. If there's a couple more minutes, and then
we've covered off anything that I thought was good and more.
Perfect.
So I just my notes were strictly if we got stuck in the mud.
Oh,
And
This
we
is
never got
awesome.
stuck in the mud.
awesome.
And Alicia, we better look after your life. I sure hate to see you miss a chapter of it. No. But thanks very much for being here.
No, it's good.
On a barbecue by now, probably.
No, we're good. We eat late anyway.
Okay.
We're late eaters. But I had one more question I freaking wanted to ask, and I'm trying to think of what it was.
I got one quick.
Okay, go.
Okay, we got to do the definition of cowboy shit, though. We actually got to do that. I want both your definitions of cowboy shit.
You go first, Ron.
Well,
You
me.
can't say same after he says it.
Yeah,
Same Z.
yeah. Nor ditto. You can't do ditto.
Yeah, both of those already picked.
Cowboy shit to me, because I'm a real fan of the cow horse thing, and a reined work and a fence work. To me, that's cowboy shit. The fence work represents cowboy shit. Pull your hat down, show no fear, and never let fear and common sense get in the way of a run. So there's a little point in a cow horse run where the judge can blow a whistle to signal that you can get a new cow because the one you've got is too wild to work.
Oh, really?
Cowboy shit is when you wave him off and go ahead with it. That's cowboy shit.
I like that.
How about that? Now,
That's pretty good, huh? Ditto.
Can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel it's probably. I think what we're talking about as far as the thing at the Canada's Greatest Horseman at Ponoka Stampede. The horses / riders that can do all of those events and do them well. And yeah, I think you have to be relatively cowboy to get that done.
Okay.
Remember what your question was?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if this is the one, but I made it up anyway. Because that's how I operate. I just continuously. But what's one thing that you learned, whether it was from your dad or whoever when you were growing up and actually put in the element of being a cowboy, not in an arena, but outside of an arena, that you think has helped you be the competitor you are today in an arena?
I think a lot of it has to do with I worked for Western feedlots for a number of years. There were a 33,000 head feedlot outside High River. And so we worked cows all day, every day. And, you learn how to darn sure read a cow. Yeah, I think that helps a lot as far as the fence work goes. You work cows in all sorts of situations there, to the point where you're really sick of it. But yeah,
Okay.
I think that benefited me probably more than anything. Yeah.
Makes sense. Very cool. All right, you want to close her up?
Do we have anything else we need to get to here?
I just want to thank you again for having us here. And John, thanks for coming. Buddy, this was fun.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
really freaked out coming here. Yeah, because
He didn't want to
Look
ring
at
the
it-
doorbell.
Look at this. You've lived through it.
I lived. I
Yeah.
actually was able to say some words.
You said
and
you used a couple of big ones too, and I wrote them down.
did I use some good
Oh
words?
yeah.
Oh, good.
Really good.
That was great. I think I said less words than John, though. Besides the intro, I think I was just. I checked-
Well,
set the mic
Alicia
down
and I
to get
didn't
Alicia.
give you much room.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
No,
This is
no. I
perfect.
just saying what's the truth.
Yeah.
I just put everybody together and call it good. Yeah. Thank you guys for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming down to the Brahma Boot Studio here in Northwest Calgary. Thanks for taking the time, and we'll make sure we get you guys in some boots.
Cool.
Love
Make
it.
it happen.
Look forward to it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in Pinoca too.
I'll be there. I'll be
right.
there from about all of us. We'll all be there. We'll have a
Well,
reunion.
nod and wave when you go by.
We will. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to make it down, but I'll
No,
do my best to
No, understand.
make it by maybe on the.
Maybe we'll come and find
see.
you.
We'll see. We'll be there. But once again, Canada's greatest horseman. I almost had it memorized. I just missed that. Canada's greatest horseman, going to be June 26th to 29th, Pinoca, Alberta, at the Cal Nash Center during the Pinoca Stampede. The first few days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, going to be 10 a.m. to noon in the mornings before the rodeo, and then on Sunday nights, the final is going to be 4 to 6 p.m. on Sunday, the 29th of June. So the 26th to the 29th, up in Pinoca, Cal Nash Center. Going to be a great week up there. I hope it goes great for you guys. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.